Everyone, Zeddy here again with another card review. We're getting near the end here. We're going to have the final, I guess everything will be revealed tomorrow, but we do have an incredible, and I mean incredible Hunter Legendary, something I would not be surprised to see get nerfed. I think it's like bona fide insane and not just clickbait. Well, trust me on that. As well as another neutral card. It looks like a big one. We'll talk about that as well. And of course, we have our giveaway going on. We're going to be wrapping it up. We'll probably announce the winner on Thursday or Friday, or the winners on Thursday and Friday of the 3 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders. If we somehow get like 600 subs in the next couple of days, I'll bump it up to another mega bundle, so it'll be 4 total. All you have to do is like and comment on the video description below. Subscribe to the channel. The support's been incredible, regardless of if we hit the next goal or not. Thank you all so much for that. So let's take a look at this Hunter Legendary, because it is something spectacular. It is called Rarran. I think it's you say Rarran? 5 mana, 4/5. So, oh my goodness, it's a Yeti in stats for 5 mana. Terrible. Why are we looking at? Why are we looking at? Well, it's important to look at the details, and this is an important one. It has a battle cry. And what does it do? It summons 1 of each dormant wild seed. And if you remember what wild seeds are, we have the 1 mana one, the one that's dormant for 1 turn. It has rush for, it's a 3/1. They're all beasts, by the way. There's also the one that's dormant for 2 turns. It's a 2 mana, 2/5 taunt beast. And then there's also this ridiculous beast, which is a 3 mana 5/4. It's dormant for 3 turns, and you get a 5/4 beast that gives you a 4/2 weapon. So for 5 mana, you are getting a 4/5 right away, and you are getting like 6 mana worth of dormant minions, one of which will proc the next turn, which will have rush, immediate impact, then one that has taunt that'll defend you, and then one that can push 8 damage and also have a 5/4 body. That is insane value, incredible value for 5 mana. And not only that, we just saw, like the other day, Wild Spirits, a spell that summons 2 different dormant wild seeds, but makes your wild seeds awaken 1 turn sooner. So you can play Rarran into Wild Spirits, and you're going to have a 3/1 active. You're going to have a 2 mana taunt active. You'll have another 3/1 active. Like, there's going to be so much stats on the board, and then you have a 4/2 weapon into another 4/2 weapon. You'll lose some durability, I guess, because they'll proc, but regardless, it's just so many stats. You're summoning 3 beasts, and there's no build around requirement for this. It's just a minion on curve you can slap down, and you're just going to get ridiculous stats. The only downside, again, to this whole Wild Seed package is the fact it's dormant, right? The minions take a little bit to wake up, but I just feel for 5 mana, you get so much stuff. If you're playing a mid-range deck, an aggressive deck, you're already fighting for board, pushing a lot of aggression, and then this comes down. They got to deal with it in waves, and you still can play other things. You can speed it up. I just think this is an incredible card that could slot into not only aggressive decks, like I said, but mid-range, big beast hunter. The only downside I can see about this card for like the big beast hunter decks is the revive pet anti-synergy, right? Like, you play this and you're getting beasts back, and then you might revive them, and that's the main downside. That's the main downside to it, but I don't know. I just think this slots into so many different strategies. It's so much value for 5 mana. And you compare it to a Leather Legendary. They literally came out the same set. Huntsman Altimore, which is also a summon 3 beast. But this one, you have to infuse 8. And I mean, summoning 3 animal companions that have a immediate board presence is definitely more powerful than this 5-drop. But there's a requirement for this card, whereas you take a look at Rarran, you could just play it. And it's 5 mana, so let's say you have Bran. You can Bran Rarran, and you're going to get 6... well, I guess 5, because your board again will be a bit too full. You'll get 5 Wild Sea cards. I think this card is incredible in the standard. I think it will see relevant play in multiple archetypes, and I am ready to be wrong, because, well, how often am I right about 5-star cards? Very rarely, I feel like, but I am going to give it a 5-star in standard. I think this is just nuts. You draft this in Arena, congrats, you probably won the game on the spot, unless they ban it from Arena. But yeah, really, really good card, and In Wild, I don't think, again, I'm going to keep going with my my whole thing of, it does it go face, does it kill you quickly, or does it combo or stall for a combo? And Rarran in Wild, I don't think accomplishes these goals. It's just, you know, a good value-based, board-based card. And yeah, Wild, I guess the 4-2 weapon can theoretically kill somebody, right? The stag bow or stag point wild bow, but I don't think you're gonna get to that point where it's like, what, turn 8 you're gonna get to that, or you speed it up with wild spirits. I guess you could play Rarran into double wild spirits and then boom, you're like going crazy. But regardless, in Wild, I gotta give it like a 2 because that strategy doesn't work. Even in Odd Hunter, I can't see it even in Odd. What? Anyways, yeah, I gotta give it like a 2 in Wild, but in Standard, I think where board matters a bit more and it just fits into so many different archetypes, I will justify a 5-star rating, and I can't wait to be wrong on this one like I always am. And last, we have one crazy, weird epic here. Party Crasher. It's a neutral epic. It is an 8-mana 7/9. I don't know if we have ever seen that stat line on an 8-drop. Let me know in the comments below. I don't think we have. Maybe Rarran knows. Do you know Hearthstone? I don't know. But it has Battle Cry. You choose an enemy minion. You throw a random minion from your hand at it. This is actually reminiscent of a Marvel Snap card, I believe, called I think Gambit, where you can destroy an enemy minion on a location by throwing a card in your hand at it. This doesn't kill it, it just throws a random enemy minion at it. So if it has poisonous, it'll probably kill it, unless it has like Divine Shield or something. It's not gonna proc a Death Rat or a Battle Cry or anything like that. I believe it's just a stat bomb. So this is like a card that you would want to put into like some big Death Rattle deck. It could be okay with like a Colossal, perhaps, like a Neptulon. You cheat out Neptulon and it'll still get the 2/4/2 rushers. But this is, yeah, this is like a big Death Rattle style card to me. It's almost reminiscent of like, what is it? What was the, it's like the Maxima Blastenheimer for Hunter, where it would throw basically a minion at your opponent's face and then it would die. This doesn't die, like the minion doesn't automatically die. You could just choose a giant minion in your hand to attack a small little token, and then you're getting an 8-mana 7/9 and another big body out. That's very relevant. That's pretty good. The problem is this card costs 8 mana. So unless you're playing Druid, ramping into it, or Celestial Lining, it's not too great. And it's a random minion from your hand, right? You can't pick what you're throwing at it. So you have to build your deck very specifically around this. So it's got to be a big deck. It's probably going to be Death Rattle oriented, and in Standard we haven't seen a lot of that in quite some time. The main thing is Big Beast Hunter, but I don't think that really makes sense with this card. You want to run a lot of smaller minions in that deck to get you to your late game, and a lot of those minions just, I mean, if they have rush, it's all right, but probably not worth it. This is a card that could pop up at some point. I don't see it quite yet. It's a really flavorful card. It looks really cool in Arena. Probably a really good pick, although you might just summon a lot of crap. Again, just summoning crap is fine, right? I think it's a decent card in Arena. I don't think this will be a big ladder card, but maybe I'm missing a big synergy that this could really work with. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'm thinking a big deck, and I just don't see enough of that to really justify this card at the moment. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. In a Wild, there are a lot of big decks like Big Shaman, Big Priest, but those style of decks, you typically want to cheat out minions really quickly and then bring them back, particularly in Priest, and this is something you don't want to bring back, but you certainly wouldn't mind like throwing a Scrapyard Colossus or a Colossal minion entirely at your opponent. It's just probably not going to make the cut, but really cool card. 2 stars in Standard and Wild. Probably doesn't make the cut, but will probably lead to some pretty spectacular highlights and maybe some OTKs. Anyways, that's it for today. We'll have pretty much all the card reveals tomorrow. I think everything's coming out tomorrow. Probably gonna have like 2 or 3 videos, so stay tuned. Lots more coming up. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.